For our strength testing or resisted range of motion, remember that we need to position them in the mid-range of their movement because that's where the muscle fibers overlap the most and that's where they're going to be strongest. And we're going to strength test them isometrically. So we're going to put them in that mid-range and just ask them to hold that position and not let us movement. We're going to review our ankle strength testing again because of the muscles that cross the ankle joint that also act on the foot and the toes. We're going to talk out which muscles do the action today. Ankle dorsiflexion, we're going to stabilize distal tibia fibula, and we'll just ask to the athlete to not let us push their foot down towards the ground. So I'm trying to force her into plantar flexion. She's having a dorsiflex to fight against that. So our primary muscle for ankle dorsiflexion would be tibialis anterior, but our extensor hallucis longus and extensor digitorum longus muscle helps with dorsiflexion because they cross the fronts of the ankle joint. For plantar flexion, stabilizing distal fibula, don't let me push foot upwards. And our gastroc soleus would be our primary ankle plantar flexor muscles. For inversion, eversion, bringing ankle up into neutral position, grabbing onto the calcaneus. Don't let me turn foot inwards, so I'm trying to force her into inversion, and she's having to use her perineals, peroneus longus and peroneus brevis, to do eversion, so that's strength testing eversion. Don't let me turn foot outwards. I'm trying to force her into eversion, but remember it's always what the athlete is doing, so there we're strength testing inversion. And tibialis posterior would be our primary ankle inverter. Tibialis anterior will help a little bit with ankle inversion based on its path of travel. For strength testing the toes, again, we're going to do the big toe on its own. So resisted toe flexion, don't let me push the toe up. I'm trying to force her toe in extension, and she has to flex it to fight against that. Flexor hallucis longus would be our primary big toe flexor, and flexor hallucis brevis on the plantar surface of the foot will help with it. Don't let me push toes 2 through 5 up, and we're strength testing toe flexion, toes 2 through 5. So flexor digitorum longus primary muscle, and flexor digitorum brevis assist with that. Don't let me push toes 2 through 5 down. Strength testing toe extension for toes 2 through 5. Extensor digitorum longus from the anterior lower leg, and extensor digitorum brevis on the dorsal of the foot is going to help. And then finally, don't let me push the big toe down for resisted big toe extension. Extensor hallucis longus is the primary muscle, and extensor hallucis brevis is going to assist with that.